So in this video, I wanted to do a quick comparison between two wooden Pilot retractable ballpoint pens. First up, we have the Pilot S20. I reviewed this in the past, so if you want a more extensive video, definitely check that out. And then we have the Pilot Legno. It's Legno. And the Legno name is something Pilot uses fairly regularly. This one is officially known as the Legno ballpoint, or if you really want to know you're getting the same one I'm talking about, just look up the BLE1SK. There's another one that looks very similar called the BLE250K, and that's a little different, a little bit more expensive. So definitely go buy the modern number if you can. So pretty similar pens. The S20 sells for maybe $22, $20, something like that. The Legno sells for $15, $18, right around there. The S20 is the more popular of the two, but you almost always see it as a mechanical pencil. It's also sold in this ballpoint that I really, really like. One of my favorite ballpoints these days, or gel, whatever the refill doesn't really matter. The Legno is similar but less popular. So just to rewind, very similar. Both are push button or knock retractable pens. They're both from Pilot. They both have wooden bodies. After that, oh, you know what? The other big similarity, we'll get into it right now, is that they use the same refill type. They both use this refill that Pilot calls the BRF. Then sometimes there's an N after it, but it's the BRF series of refills. And it looks like a Parker G2 style refill, but it's actually a little bit shorter. So it's a proprietary refill. Comes in a few different varieties, like this one. This is called the BRF 25BB. You can see it's a 1.6 millimeter super wide ballpoint, but that's just one of the varieties. It's the same refill sold in Pilot's Dr. Grip pens. Okay, back to the pens. So we have the S20 and the Legno. The S20 is the higher end of the two pens, and we see some clear evidence of that. We see some really refined designs here, like that really nice piece at the nose with those grooves. Clearly it looks to be a non-standard manufacturing, really nicely made. Then we see a lot of contours on the grip, kind of goes in and back out, really nice. S20 logo with the metal band, and then a tapered body. The clip goes around the wood so it doesn't damage it, which is very cool. Then we see another nice metal piece of hardware up here, and then a little piece of wood at the top. So clearly this thing was lovingly made, and it's quite nice. It feels great in your hand. It comes in a few different wood polishes. This one has a sort of walnut or mahogany look to it. I think it's actually made of birch. I forgot to look that up, but this is the darker of the polishes. It also comes in a pretty cool looking red. And this is a two-piece pen. You could open it up, you can see more nice hardware, brass insert there, very cool. That's like the markings of a really nicely made pen. And then here's that refill. I've upgraded it to the BRFN 30, which is my favorite refill in the series. And you can check out some previous videos for that. Really just great construction quality. Fit and finish on this are top notch. Nice push button. Moving over to the Legno, we see a much more simple pen. You can see it's a very standard looking chromed nose piece. It is metal, which is nice. One piece wooden body. So it does have a nice taper, a nice waist to it. It gets thinner in the middle and fatter at the grip. It's interesting comparing it to the S20, which is fatter in the middle and thinner in the grip area, and then it sort of gets more parallel towards the front. So if you like pens with a wider grip, then you're definitely going to prefer the Legno, just full stop right there. So little sticker there, not sure quite what it says. Then we have the information here, BLE1SK, that's the model, the medium, $10 or 1,000 Japanese yen. And then we have the refill, the BRFN 10F. And the 10F, that's just a standard refill you would get in the Dr. Grip pens. Very simple clip. It is from the top, so it doesn't hit the wood either, which is nice. It's not like, screwed into the wood or anything like that, so it's not going to splinter over time. And then nice push button, but these feel a lot more like off-the-shelf components, nothing too fancy, where the S20 feels like it has all, I don't want to say custom hardware, but like very fancy hardware, while the Legno kind of feels like they got parts they had lying around and figured a way to get them on this nice wooden body. I believe this wood is also birch, but instead of having, this is more of a matte type finish. This finish has more gloss to it. It's a little bit hard to tell in pictures, but again, more of a matte feel and more of a glossy feel. Both feel nice. The wood on the S20 has a little bit of grain comes through, and you don't really get that here because the wood is so polished. It's clearly, if you look at it, you could see the grain, but you don't feel it the way you feel it on the S20. Even the S20, you don't get a lot of grain feel because they polished it down so much, but you could pick up some. Opening this pen up, we could see it uses the BRFN 10F, just a standard plastic body refill. And again, that's the same refill you would get in a Dr. Grip and most of those pens out there. I like to upgrade those to that BRFN 1030F, but again, I've done a few videos on those, so just check back. Weight-wise, they're pretty similar. The Legno is a little bit lighter to me, but if I don't need to bust out a scale, if I have to bust out a scale rather than, they're pretty inconsequentially different. Lengthwise, pretty similar. The S20 maybe a hair shorter, but I would say they're basically the same. The main difference, again, is going to be when you compare the grip. It's substantially larger on the Legno. And then the waist, again, they taper down to pretty similar, but even then, the Legno is a little bit wider. As far as writing goes, I really do prefer the S20. I like the Legno. It's not uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels a little bit on the wide side. It's definitely a wider looking pen. Just to compare it to some of the stuff sitting around my desk, you can see it's much larger than something standard like a Hi-Tech Point V5. What else do we have here? Here's a Jetstream. Again, much larger than the Jetstream. It's getting into the area of a wide or a grippy pen. It's not grippy, sorry, but like a wider grip pen. And that's the Pilot Legno. And this is with the F refill. So that's the fine. I think it's a 0.7 millimeter. The sizing on these is a little weird. Moving over to the S20, I really do like this. It's maybe a hair skinny, but if it's too skinny for you, you could move it up your grip a little bit. This is not a pen I think of as being too skinny, but I could see how some people would complain. They want, maybe just a millimeter more. But I find this pen to be very comfortable. It's really nicely weighted, and I love the contour. It really feels right for me, but it has a distinctive feel to it. So I would just say this is a pen body with some opinion about, you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. Whereas again, something like this, it's just like, yeah, sure, it's fine, it's a pen. No one would ever dislike this grip. It's like middle of the road length, middle of the road width, not tapered. The S20 and to some extent the Legno have much more opinion to them. And this is the Pilot S20. And I've upgraded this one to the medium refill, which is a 1.0 millimeter. It's definitely a thicker line. And this one is also the BRFN 30 instead of the 10. So you can see probably a little bit of difference there, just a little bit wider, a little bit more ink. The F is really quite nice for day-to-day use. The M is a little bit more fun, but not quite as clean of a line as it is just getting a little bit wide. It is very smooth though, which is a trade-off. The F is, it's smooth, but it's fine enough that you don't quite get to glide as much on that ink. Back to the 10 pen bodies, because obviously the refills are interchangeable. Both are solid, both are interesting. The S20 is really, to me, the exceptional pen. The Legno is quite solid, and I'm glad I have it. I would have liked to get it in a darker color. I happened to get a good deal on it. I think from eBay Japan, something like that, for this lighter color. So that's on me. Should have gotten a darker color, but it does look solid, and it is comfortable, and it's really nicely made, but it's not quite a cut above most pens in this price class like the S20. Thanks for watching.